Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be continuing My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 9. It is really getting, into the good stuff right now. We're actually getting them, square into Overhaul's group. Fights going on. We got to see, one of the big three get a big fight. That was awesome. I can't wait to see more. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. Check out my Patreon at patreon.com/ajrich123 for full reactions and early releases. And let's go ahead and start.
I'd expect him to throw as many obstacles in our way as he could to trip us up.
Yeah, I'm sure he's waiting.
Maybe that means his awareness and control don't extend through the entire place. There's also the police squad up above.
Tabs on?
It's just a theory. But maybe
there's always seems like there's a limit to most people's quirks.
Moving around inside the walls to monitor what's going on.
Only so much you can do, even with that drug.
That's right. I just need to see him. It's his fault.
Ooh.
I can't believe you all came out to try and stop us. It seems crazy to me. Overhaul.
They're just like the lower end of the thugs.
Yeah, that's what he started calling himself after the boss got sick and he came to power. The boss valued the old ways. He didn't want us to be seen as just another group of low-life thugs.
Ah.
He's respected. We trusted him. The young head gave himself a villain's name, allowed scum to join us.
So he kind of took over, Overhaul kind of took over this regiment and kind of made it his own and using his own ideals. So it didn't start out like that. And when you have an organization that changes that drastically, not everybody's going to agree with your changes. And as we can see, everyone has different opinions.
As much as you dislike Chisaki, you seem pretty sure that we're not going to catch him.
He don't stand a chance. Whack job like him doesn't care about consequences or even his own future.
They have nothing to lose. They will give it everything.
He wants to knock me out of the fight before I can get eyes on him.
Shit.
If those idiots can't handle it.
If we don't stop this guy, then Tamaki will have stayed behind for nothing. Come on, Eraser. Time to do your thing.
Be careful, Fat.
Damn.
I jumped out in front of Mr. Aizawa. I figured I wouldn't take any damage, but then you jumped and I kind of got stuck.
They were thinking the same thing.
Nothing we can do now.
You're fighting a literal house.
Go ahead, punch me.
Literally just make the environment. Damn. Yep. Now he can do this.
You know what I think? Knives and guns got no place in a fight.
You're not gonna take us down that
That's
easily.
one way to fight. Barrier.
Looks like some kind of barrier.
So we have fat gum and a boy with a hardening quirk. Disappointing, isn't it, Rappa?
Of course they're not going to be by themselves.
I can feel his blows even through my fat.
Who'd want to fight with two shields? Sounds lame.
To be
Red
fair,
Riot can attack
I
too,
don't know
though.
whether that boy even qualifies as one.
My arms
I don't think they
cracked.
know the extent of his quirk. We've seen him fight with.
When you're up against villains, the key is making them lose their will to fight first. You can't lose your drive before they do.
True,
Now
you
let's
can
take
never
those
feel
two
down
fatheads
when you're.
down and get out of here.
You can't
Give us
let
a
them
wait
see
for
that.
us.
Don't let them see your
They
weakness.
believe
I don't need a stupid bubble to keep me safe.
rise above your own desires. Remember what Master Overhaul said. He paired us for a reason. Our skills complement each other, ensuring victory. Master Overhaul, show some respect.
Now's the time to
Who
attack
cares?
while they're
All I want
arguing.
is a good death match.
Very well. If you think you can take them yourself, by
This
all
is like
means.
perfect
That's
time.
more like it.
But how many blows can Fat
When I
Gum
get in
take?
close, I can't dodge his hits. And there's so much strength behind him that not even I can absorb all the damage. He'll wear me down till I've got nothing left. We won't be able to win while that guy's still standing. Despite what I said, Kirishima's in rough shape.
There's got to be a way to
I've got
break
no
that
choice.
barrier.
I have to face him.
These
Your name's
fights are
Robert,
life or
right?
death
It's
matches.
been a while since I've been hit that hard. And I've done a decent amount of fighting over the years, too. In the end, it's all gonna come down to what happens first. Your arms get tired or my body gives out.
Warrior versus
You totally
tank.
Get me, Fatso. Tank guy, remember.
No barriers. others.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome, guys!
Pat, he broke through my ultimate move with a single attack. And now I'm just in the way. He keeps getting faster, and each hit hurts worse than the last.
We got a long way to go, and I'm just getting warmed up!
Breaking through everything and all his
I
fat.
can't just stand here. I have to do something. Fatcum's gonna die because of me.
The boy won't be a problem. He's already finished. You can see it in his eyes.
It's all a mental
Just
thing right
like it was
now.
back then.
He's usually always so positive, and
Hey there.
it's weird to
Heard
see him
about
like
you.
this
You're the guy
recently.
who can change leaves into money, right? Nice quirk, man.
So make these into some bills quick, dude.
You bullying a kid for some chump change? That's not very manly, jerks.
Ah, so he dyes his hair.
Third year, Kirishima.
Here he comes.
I got him.
Get back here!
Forget about it, Kirishima.
You were watching?
Why are you always sticking your neck out like that, man?
It doesn't matter what your quirk is if you have an honorable heart.
Yeah, he has a good heart, and he's trying to defend.
It's Mina Ashido from Class 4.
She's
Huh.
really laying into him.
So they've known each other for a while.
Hold on, are they breakdancing?
What the hell?
Leaving. And no one got hurt.
My hardening is pretty weak, and it's nothing flashy. Kind of boring.
Everyone kind of
You
started
have a
out like
chivalrous
this,
heart,
though,
it
as
doesn't
we've
matter
seen.
what your quirk is, or at least that's what I thought.
If that could boost your quirk,
Hey,
just hitting
speaking of
yourself
high
over and
school,
over and over
I'm kinda
again.
thinking I might go for UA too. Please.
Is that?
Oh, a villain showed up?
What? You're not gonna answer me?
Always a bad time.
No. I could do it. Come on!
It's exactly how he is right now. It's about putting yourself out there.
Make a left at the big street. The agency's 2 kilometers away.
Thank you very much.
Wait. Literally, that's all he needed? Like, he was wondering where the agency is. I thought he was going to actually destroy a bunch of shit, but it's just that simple. I guess some villains, it makes it, really easy. Just tell them what they want and they'll go. But on this subject, like, he's overthinking it sometimes, and more, he really needs to kind of just, as we've seen, him, like, stepping up. He wants to defend people, but sometimes he just feels like he's too weak. In the case of what we just saw, him, like, his ultimate move got shattered that fast, which killed his confidence. As we've seen from some other characters, their confidence gets killed. Once your confidence is gone, you're pretty much defeating yourself at that point, and that's what he needs to break. He needs to break that barrier, that figurative barrier. I like the more background to her, though.
Thank you. You saved us.
Puts her in a better light. I respect her a lot more. But that's just, we haven't had that much scenes with her.
Why didn't I go? Why?
I don't know. Like, I feel like they're, first of all, I love when they go kind of a flashback here and give us some backstory with some of the characters. But Kirishima's getting a lot of screen time this season. Is it just me? Like, I feel like they're throwing him, not just him, obviously a lot of the characters are, but I love how they're giving a lot more focus to the side characters this season. And just some of the heroes that don't normally get time. And you just get more depth into them, and it gives them another, like, more, I don't know, I respect them a lot more. Once we know where they come from, then you kind of start to understand why they are the way they are.
There were witnesses who said that just before All Might showed up,
Deku.
kid, his friend maybe, rushed in to help.
Oh, Bakugo and
My
Deku.
spirit's not making up for anything.
Mhm.
Facing danger and choosing to take that next step forward. That's what makes a
Yeah,
person.
he
human
modeled
material.
himself after his favorite hero.
My mom told me that the first time my quirk appeared, I accidentally cut my eye. For a while after that, I whined and cried about how much I hated my power. I hated my own quirk, but his was similar. He stood tall and risked his life to save others.
Are you ever afraid in those situations?
What kind of question is that? Of course I'm afraid. Show me somebody who's not afraid of facing death, and I'll show you an idiot. I'm where I am now because when I was a sidekick, I failed to save someone in peril.
I heard about that.
That day I hesitated, and somebody lost their life because my spirit was weak. There's something I fear more. The look on someone's face as they die. That's far worse.
Those type of circumstances can completely change you, and I see that. I completely understand that. That's the moment when you change for the better. And I think Kirishima is starting to get these moments here where life is on the line, and I see why he would respect someone like this.
Wrong spirit. It isn't a matter of being bold or confident or fearless. I'm a hero and I've sworn to protect people. It's a vow I've written on my heart and one I'll die to keep.
You serious, E?
That's a good lesson.
I am. I won't freeze like that again. Ever.
Makes sense why he would,
sorry.
Change to do
I saw
that.
Guy threatening you, but I panicked.
So this is what pushed him to do this. Sometimes you need a motive. Need something to look up to and motivate you to get better. And emulating, that makes more sense his hairstyle now.
Yeah?
Emulating his hero.
What if I do? I'm not gonna regret stuff anymore. Not ever. I'll protect people like a hero. Hurts! Actually, it doesn't, but what the heck?
Once you get over yourself, let me know, okay? I'm being nice and holding back for now. But someday I'm gonna tell everyone about your little makeover.
Nice little connection
I've been
between
in a
them,
ton of
those two.
scary situations since then, but one thing's always frightened me more than anything else, and that mistake's gonna cost you this fight.
Because he's a true
I've been
hero.
absorbing every blow you dealt me, sinking each one into my body and storing its power. Doing that takes energy and burns the fat that protects me from taking serious damage. But he's worn me down more than I expected. Not sure I'm ready to unleash the power I've absorbed.
He needs the help.
I won't regret anything, now or ever again.
Here we go.
I'll do it. I'll become a hero. I'll protect people.
Goddamn barrier.
Of course, don't be a fool. Nothing can overcome the strength.
That's
of
the
my
problem.
The boys.
You bought me the time I needed.
Oh shit!
The two of you are gonna lose. Do you want to know why?
He just lost 300 pounds.
We underestimated the hero named Red Riot and his chivalrous spirit.
Oh fuck! Just in time.
A spear and a shield. The victory is ours.
All you gotta do is get into a big fight and you can lose a ton of weight. Fuck, man. He's good to go. Oh, wow. I like that. We got some 2v2 action. A lot of the time we get 1v1 fights. This was nice to get a little combination, a little bit more of like, you kind of need, like, they were teamed up, and when you looked at Fat Gum and like both of them, really, you kind of see them as both tanks. Like they're, hardening and using fat to block and capture. They're not really, they're kind of like upfront heroes, but at the same time you don't really consider them attack heroes. And that's why I was making the reference as warrior versus tank. But as we can see, they're not just that. And Kirishima was able to get through all this. We've seen like a kind of a trend in some of these guys getting really kind of just down on themselves and sad. It's really, I think in general, as a person, it's really easy to feel like that. But we were able to see him go through it. We saw him. It's cool to see that he had a past that was able to push him to even apply for UA, and then him having actually history with another person from UA that I don't think had been mentioned before. So that was kind of nice. But also him changing his appearance towards the hero that it had been mentioned that he had looked up to another hero, but like to that extent where that guy literally really drove him. Kind of had the same thing with Deku and All Might. All these guys, and Bakugo and All Might, all these guys have like people that they looked up to that were able to that they kind of emulate a little bit now as they're growing and turning into heroes. And he's no exception. he was able to kind of mold himself to try to become like this guy and emulate it. And in this case, he was able to not just kind of stand aside and get too scared to, even if it's not going to work, if he could buy time, if he could do something, and he was able to do what we've seen Deku do a million times, step in when you need to step in. Even if it costs you your life, and in this case, it could have. But fortunately, Fat Gum, it was more of a 2v2, and Fat Gum was there to just have enough time to be able to shed 300 pounds and attack and break the barrier. It was perfect. I love that. It's kind of You get kind of reminded like how being a hero is more than in this world. It's more than just kind of playing the part and doing the day-to-day things, because we see some hero work as a job in this world. It plays out like a 9 to 5 sometimes for some people, but when it really matters, when they're really actually doing hero work and like these life or death situations, that's when it really matters, and that's when it shows a real person's personality. And Kamashita, did I just say Kamashita? Kirishima. I'm thinking Persona 5 here. Kirishima, like, literally kind of showed that he was able to break through that. He was able to break through the barrier, per se, of being too scared to step up. Yeah, you might. It's kind of the same thing as if you try so many times and you're gonna fail, but you keep trying. That was kind of what ended up happening with him, and he learned from his mistake as a kid before he joined UA, and now was able to show that in reality, and later on in this case. And I like how the last couple episodes we've gotten a lot of him. We've gotten we've gotten Fat Gum. We've gotten big 3 moments. I'm loving this trend, and I hope it continues in season 4. It's really, I don't know. It's nice to kind of root for some of these guys that are not shown as much, and they have more depth than when a character just doesn't get that type of screen time. So you think, or you just kind of assume their character just doesn't have that much depth. But we're being shown this season that there is a lot more to some of these characters that than we've been shown. It's awesome. But anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. Feel free to follow my Twitter at ajrich123, as well as my Patreon at patreon.com/ajrich123 for full reactions and early releases. I'd appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.